sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag-3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag-3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo so...
Pagsapit ng alas 4, hudyat na yan ang pagsisimula ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. And to start the week off fresh, we are here at the Orion Sports Complex in Camalig, Bataan for the first set of triple headers this week. Alfred Flores, fresh off his stint in the NCRAA and MVP in that league, is playing his second game of the season tonight with Muntinlupa Cagers. He will be going up against the still winless Bicolandia Oragons, who are looking to be led by Charles Burgos, who had 15 points, 9 rebounds, and a couple of steals in their last game against the South Cotabato Warriors. They are 0-10. At our second game, it's going to be the Abra Weavers going up against Bacolod, and at 8 o'clock p.m., that's going to be a battle between heavyweights of the North and the South, the Bataan Risers, facing the Zamboanga Master Sardines. Good afternoon, everybody, to everybody watching on MPTV Channel 98 on Signal, Satellite Channel 53 on the Pilipinas Live app, and on Facebook and YouTube. This is Javi Palanya on the call together with Coach Mike Perez. Coach Mike, we are 50 days into the 6th season of the league. How are you assessing so far this season?
Well, definitely itong next stream ng mga 10 games for each of the team is going to be a period of adjustments. I mean, you now understand kung ano nagiging performance ng team at alam mo na kung ano mga pieces kailangang i-adjust para sa bawat team. So, very interesting itong season na to, lalo na midstream right now.
And at this point, Coach, we are approaching the transfer window, which means a lot of player movement and a lot of new players coming in.
Yep.
To introduce the third member of our broadcast panel, let's welcome Miss Andrea Indicio. Andrea, good afternoon to you.
First of all, happy Monday sa inyong lahat. Isang linggo na naman na punong-puno ng basketball action na para sa ating mga kaliga. And yes, Javi, meron nga akong balita dito sa Bicol na sabi nila big game daw ang larong ito para sa kanila. At nabanggit nga nila sa akin na ito daw kanilang matchup against the Muntinlupa Cagers is actually marked in their calendars. Siyempre, considering their standing, considering their current situation, one win, kahit isang panalo lang daw, could potentially spark something sa kanilang kupunan. And this game, they consider as a winnable one. So anong masasabi niyo dito, Javi, Coach Mike?
Yeah, I mean, definitely they are both mired at the bottom of our Southern Division standings, and with 18 games left, this is really the time for them to get into the win column if they want to even have a chance of making the top 8 at the end of our season. Ngayon, pasadahan muna natin team standings, beginning with the Northern Division.
Well, sa Norte, nag-extend yung 8-game win streak nitong Pampanga after yung huling panalo na versus Sarangani. Undefeated pa rin ang San Juan at Nueva Ecija. Abra, mamaya kalaban ng Bacolod, aiming to make it 3 in a row. Last time that they won was without that Greg Slaughter yet in Manila, and Imo samantala itong Bataan mamaya 5-game losing streak. They hope to snap it against Zamboanga para sa laban mamaya.
Southern Division naman tayo tumingin kung saan both of our teams are located in Muntinlupa, in Bicolandia, down there in our team standings in the South.
Yeah, katulad sa Norte, ito naman Quezon, undefeated pa rin. 9 games na diretso, the last one against Negros. Zamboanga on a 1-game win streak, will try to extend that and make it 2 against Bataan later on. Muntinlupa will go up against Bicol. Muntinlupa will actually hunt for their 3rd win, samantalang itong Bacolod at itong Bicol are really trying to get their win again right on their record.
Bicolandia, they've lost 10 straight already this season. At ang tanong, kailan ba nila makukuha ang kanilang unang panalo? Well, that wasn't the case in their last game against the South Cotabato Warriors, where they had a slow start once again, and South Cotabato, they just never looked back in the game, dominated Bicolandia that whole match. They fell behind by as much as 25 points. Talking about the Aragons.
Tama ka doon. At pag tinignan mo yung mga numbers, all the numbers in this game against South Cotabato were actually very much lower than the usual numbers of Bicol. So no surprise that they lost it. It was really a slow start, down 7 in the first quarter and trailed even by as much as 25 points. But you look at all the numbers, really 35 against 40 versus South Cotabato on rebounds, and only 14 assists to show against the 23 of Paradito sa South Cotabato.
The only objective for Bicol in this game is to improve on those numbers, to even give themselves a chance of winning against an also victory-hungry squad in the Muntinlupa Cagers, who lost a lopsided match against the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards after 2 straight wins against Sarangani and Bataan.
Yeah, totoo ka dyan. At when we talk about the numbers, it's really about making shots and, of course, the dominance of Nueva Ecija in that game. Pag tinignan mo yung points in the paints and fast break points, that's a minus 34, minus 28 deficit para sa Muntinlupa. Why? Because both those departments are actually number 1 ang Nueva Ecija, where they actually would have 46 points in the paint for Nueva Ecija and 25 fast break points every time each game for Nueva Ecija.
Will Muntinlupa get win number 3, or will Bicolandia finally break into the win column? That's a question that we will have the answer to at the end of 40 minutes. Let's go to Miguel Perry.
Starting at guard number 2, David Velves. Forward number 17, Charles Burgos. At center number 27, Chris Javier. At guard number 14, Rafi Reyes. And the other forward number 10, RJ Teles. The head coach for the Aragons is Raymond Valenzona. Assistant coaches June Dizon, Jay Mariano, Gino Ludovice, and Matthew Siga. Team manager is Adrian Ang Lim. Team owner is Mark Tan. Now, the starting 5 for Muntinlupa Cagers, Elberg Paramount. Starting at guard number 9, Jasper Cuevas. Also at guard number 77, Rocky Asidre. Coming in at center number 25, Ryan Arenal. At forward number 5, Joshua Giab. And the other forward number 6, McCoy Marcos. The head coach for Muntinlupa Cagers is Mixon Ramos. Assisted by your very own from Dinalupihan, Bataan, Alex Calweng, together with Jerry Andalion and Noel Villapa. Team manager is Vince Harder. Team owners are Kaiser Galvez, Grace Galvez, attorney Jam C, and Aya Saicon.
Starting 5 of this game brought to you by Buenas. Bicol will be beginning this game with Rafi Reyes, David Velves, Chris Javier, Charles Burgos, who had an almost double-double performance in their last game, joined by RJ Deles. Sa kabilang panig naman, it's Jasper Cuevas, Rocky Asidre, Josh Giab, McCoy Marcos, and RJ Arenal. Maraming salamat mga kaliga for joining us in this first triple header of our week dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Javi Palanya together with Coach Mike Perez and Miss Andrea Endicio. Muntinlupa getting the first possession here. Giab could have handed off to Marcos, and he goes for that jumper, making the first basket of this game.
Well, itong Muntinlupa talaga prides itself on offensive execution, lalo na in the half court. They have really good sets, pero it's just a matter of converting. I don't think they're getting enough attempts as well all throughout the season. Well, primarily because they're pretty much undermanned if you look at it. Itong mga players, we've talked about it before, really role players that right now are shoved into the spotlight to lead this team, including this guy right here, Josh Giab.
Giab is trying to bounce back from an underwhelming performance in that game against Nueva Ecija. He only scored 6 points in that match, 2 out of 4 from the field. Javier gets it to Burgos, who flashes into the middle, kisses it off the glass. That's in para kay Charles Burgos.
Well, isa yan sa mga stat line na medyo challenge rin talaga. Rim protection para dito sa Muntinlupa. They don't have that dominant big that can actually challenge against the other bigs of the other team. If ever meron man, very hindi ganun ka-significant yung difference.
But offensively, coach, they also rely so much on their system because
Yeah.
gaya nga ng sabi mo, these are role players who are thrust into the spotlight.
Right. Ang nakakalungkot niyan sa Muntinlupa, they're starting to get a rhythm with those 2 wins against Sarangani and Bataan. Tapos biglang na-injure yung player mo, Jasper Lungalong. Is really having a good stride na already. Tapos biglang na-injure, and then coupled that nagkasakit si Dave Moralde in their last game. And so they went up against Nueva Ecija. That was a really hard-fought game.
And, that's going to be a challenge for Muntinlupa in their upcoming games. How could they make up for Jasper Lungalong's production?
Right. And so other guys such as Asidre, you hope for them to be able to produce well.
A good pressure defense there made by the Bicolandia Oragons. I think that's also one thing that's been lacking from them all season long. Most of the times you would see them not having a lot of problems offensively, but it's really on the defensive side of the floor that Bicol is lacking strength in.
Yeah. And they can't even get to their fast break. You'd like to think na karamihan nito mga guardias, although, when you control the defensive rebounds, kaya mong takbuhan ng fast break sa kabila. But the thing is, they're not even up there in the top when it comes to rebounds. And so how can you get to your fast breaks?
Rafi Reyes making a drive to the basket and drawing a foul. Reyes also came in few games into the season para dito sa Bicolandia, and he's been a valuable part of that point guard rotation. In fact, starting most of the games he's been in para kay Coach Raymond Valenzuela. Reyes had a stop with Zamboanga in his previous stints here in the MPBL. And, Rafi Reyes, he has basketball written all over his DNA.
And mukhang consistent to the report of Andrea. Talagang nakatulak itong depensa ng Bicolandia, really making it difficult even for Muntinlupa to execute their half-court offense.
6-2 is the score. 4-point lead for the Oragons. Almost 3 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Marcos drives on Velves and Reyes. That's another good swipe by Bicolandia. 3-on-3 break. Reyes drops a pass. No, that's stolen by Asidre. Rocky looks ahead. Dangerous pass to Cuevas. Cuevas settles for the mid-range J. That's a little bit too strong. RJ Deles, because all-around gunner getting the rebound.
Those were one of the few situations where they get to a fast break pero nakaka-recover kagad yung depensa. Oh, there's an elbow to the face of McCoy right there, coming from Rafi.
And that's something that you can expect coming from McCoy Marcos, who's played with CSB in the NCAA and is now playing under a JRU-laden coaching staff with Coach Mixon Ramos and Coach Alex Calaweng at the helm. But for McCoy, this is an opportunity for him to learn more from different philosophies.
That's right. And I mean, kahit na sinong player, all the more learnings that you get, all the more it is favorable for you, lalo na for your basketball career. Ito, nakikita natin dito sa Muntinlupa, a little bit of change of schemes, no? In the past few games, we've seen them go directly to the post on a post feed, but now they're going to back picks, rub screens before they actually get to the point attack dun sa weak side. And so, dito mo naman nakikita yung versatility ng sistema nila Coach Mixon at saka nila Coach Alex.
Warlo Batak at the line for 2 shots. Batak was scoreless in 5 minutes. Punta muna tayo kay Miss Andrea Andisha for her first report.
Despite their current standing, sabi ni Assistant Coach Matthew Sia, the players of Bicol are actually feeling good heading to this game. Kagaya nga ng sabi ko sa inyo kanina, isa ito sa mga inaabangan nilang matchup. Dagdag ni Coach Matthew, kumbaga in paper, they actually have a chance. In my previous reports, palaging nababanggit ni Coach Raymond Valenzuela, nagsusunod-sunod yung mga big teams nilang nakakalaban. Kaya for the teams that they consider na in the same spectrum, parang playoff game daw nila ito. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Well, that definitely is the case. And just like what I said at the top of our coverage, if they do want to have even just a chance of making the top 8 in the Southern Division, they're going to have to start winning games right here, right now.
And that's a very realistic approach. I mean, within that spectrum, katulad nga ng sinabi ni Coach Raymond, dun tayo mag-concentrate muna, at least to give us enough cushion wins to try and get us into the playoffs later on.
And this game really highly important for the Oragons, aside from the fact that wala pa silang panalo. They're going up against the Quezon Huskers in their next game.
Yeah, and that's the Yun nga sinasabi namin ni Mix in the last coverage. I mean, the midstream of games are really going to be very difficult for the top teams, lalo na for the lower teams.
Eh, tama rin yung sinabi ni Andre in her report that on paper, this Bicol team is highly capable of winning ball games with the veterans that they have in their roster. Imagine you have Rafi Reyes, you have Chris Javier, two former UE Red Warriors, and then you have Shaq Alanes, who is a very capable scorer, and then the emergence of a guy like Charles Burgos.
At saka meron silang mga wins na mga losses rather na very winnable. I mean, the first game that they went up against Mindoro, it was on the same venue. We covered that. That was pretty close against Mindoro. They lost only by 3 points. We went up against Rizal. That's a top-tier team. They lost only by 3. And Iloilo, you can argue the case, isa rin yan sa mga mabibigat na teams. They lost only by 2 points. And so, it really is just a matter of, you know, mag-connive lahat ng mga factors na yan for them to get their first win dito sa Bicol.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that game against the Iloilo United Royals. I covered that game at the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center, and that was a game that they were up practically the whole match.
And so may mga ganun may mga flashes of brilliance na nakikita ka dito sa Bicolandia. Actually, yun nga, the first game that we covered them, we said, you know, this is seems to be a different looking Bicolandia team because you have really good bigs and, you know, Delis has got his support. But then again, it is what it is right now. And so you got to wake up and to be able to get as many wins as you can. Because later on, even in the final 10 games, ganun rin yung sitwasyon win as many as you can.
Unfortunately, they have some sort of hiccup here at the start as Chris Javier was called for an unsportsmanlike foul. That's why Gabe Capasio took 2 free throws, and that's why Muntinlupa got possession right after that. Unfortunately for Muntinlupa, they turned the ball over.
Yeah.
6-3 now is the count. Capasio split his charities earlier. Javier tries to go backdoor to Velves. He loses it on the way up. That's going to go the other way.
Well, again, it's really going to be a matter of how well do you execute for both these teams.
Alfred Flores making his way into the ball game for the first time. Para kay Jasper Cuevas, Rocky Isidre also checking out.
And I feel itong Bicol has the tools to get the win in this game against Muntinlupa because points per game pa lang lamang na sila. They're a plus 11 in terms of points per game. Bicol averages roughly about 75 points per game and samantalang ito Muntinlupa at 64. So dun more or less nakikita mo yung firepower, but we'll see kung anong adjustments gagawin rin ng Cagers dito.
Batak skying high for that lay-in. That makes it 6-5 now. Bicolandia has not been able to score the past 3 possessions. But talking about the Oragots once again, Coach, you talked about the firepower and the offensive capabilities of their squad. The problem to support the numbers, Coach, is really in the defensive side because they are the second worst defensive team in the league, giving up an average of 89.2 points per game. That's too much.
Yeah, that's too much points that you're giving up. Well, the way I observe it is yung mga latter part ng games where they're really down huge, that's when that time they say, we're not gonna play so much anymore. And so, puntos lang ng puntos yung kalaban. That's why it's roughly about 89 points per game.
Tingnan muna natin itong fast break of the game brought to you by New Star Max. Win to the max. Warlo Batak trying to make up for his lackluster performance in their last match against Nueva Ecija where he was scoreless and only played 5 minutes.
Yeah. Right now here on the floor for the very first time para sa Cagers is, you mentioned him, Flores. He's really been, I guess, a needed help. Lalo na on the point guard position para dito kay Coach Mixon.
He led the charge for the ICC Blue Hawks in the NCRAA under Coach Oji Gumatay. And he was the MVP of that league. First performance niya pa lang para dito sa Muntinlupa against Sarangani. He gifted them with a victory.
Yeah. And this is a very strong young team if you talk about youth. You have Alfred, you've got Josh. You could make a case for McCoy. No, these guys are, you know, very much playable and really good players on the floor para sa Muntinlupa.
Deles spots for 3. Back irons that one. Liarena falling away, kissing it off the glass. That is good.
Boy, that wasn't an easy shot. Hindi madali yun, falling away, going glass. Ang taas pa ng boarding, ano?
Cyrus Lariana is one of the homegrown players for the Oragons this season as Flores connects on his first basket of the game. You know, Flores has been on the upward trend in terms of offensive production sa kanyang mga games dito. I said that this was his second game of the season. This is his third performance of the year for the Muntinlupa Cagers. He scored 7 against Sarangani and then 14 in their last game against Nueva Ecija.
At saka dun makikita mo yung last off, even now, you'll see how he decides here.
De Leon kicks it back out to their floor general. Will Alfred Flores do even better this afternoon against Bicolandia? That's way off para kay Josh Gia. Brea sees Llerena ahead. Rojas is also waiting in the dunker spot. Rojas connects, basket, and one.
Well, defending against the fast break is another thing that a lot of teams need to be working on this season. Lalo na ang daming nagpalaki. So maraming defensive rebounds yan. And Muntinlupa is not gonna be excluded from that. Lahat ng teams. It just so happens in this case, really just late to recover defensively itong Muntinlupa.
Credit also that play to Cyrus Llerena. Great dish to Carlos Rojas on that play. Rojas could not connect on the bonus. Dave Moralde is into the game para dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers. Kevin Buenaflor pumasok na rin dito para kay Coach Mixon Ramos. De Leon, Muntinlupa taking a little bit of time as per usual to get into their offense. Buenaflor from the corner, that's no good. De Leon tried to get the offensive rebound. Unfortunately, that is last touch. Oh no, it's gonna be last touch on Bicolandia.
Yeah, that ball's gonna stay with Muntinlupa. And again, nakita mo yung difference eh. When Alfred was holding the ball, ang bilis ng decision making, nakatira kagad, naka-assist kagad. With him giving it up and going to the system, medyo nagtatagal. Yun ang makikita mo na difference.
When the Flores swings to the left, Flores attacks the closeout. Flores leans in, floater goes in and out. Rebound to Kent Lau.
Yeah, just like that situation, Alfred was quick to understand na, close out, kailangan ko atakihin to. Just so happen na hindi pumasok yung floater niyan.
Justin Alfonso getting early minutes in this game para sa Bicolandia Oragons. They turn it over. Moralde will attack into the middle. That's blocked by Kent Lau. Very clean challenge upstairs. Flores decides to take it from the outside. That's off to the left. Cyrus Llerena with the board. Llerena pushing it. Rojas on the right side. This time he takes it all the way, shifting hands in midair.
Llerena so far has been the star of the game para dito sa Bicol. Been really good up and down the floor, picking up the 50-50 balls and running the other way.
This is a guy who's only averaging almost 4 points a game, 3.5 to be exact. Oragons maintaining an advantage here, up by 6. 14-8. Oragons already over the limit, but check this one out, Coach.
Yeah,
Pushing it and great control and concentration on that shot, even though it looked like he was already going to fall over.
And Llerena already has 3 magnificent plays so far. That fader going bank, that look away pass, and then this left-handed finish.
Moralde, second shot is good. He splits his charities 14-9.
And si Dave, you can tell he's not 100% yet. He just came off a flu, and right now he's trying to get back and recalibrate himself to being in game shape.
You know, I wish everybody could just imagine and remember what Dave Moralde was like in high school in his early collegiate years. Boy, was he athletic.
Yeah. Athletic, na malakas ang katawan, na kayang dumiside, kayang mag-play ng outside, kayang mag-post up. And, he's just really a weapon that you would want to have for your team.
Yeah, it's really a pity that he's had to deal with numerous injuries through the years that slowed him down and has limited his athletic capabilities. But this guy, Alfred Flores, I'm sure has not yet been hampered by such
And so you look at that. The last 2 field goals have been coming from Alfred, and really must free flowing yung attack if the ball is on the hands of Alfred. And so the others really just gotta pick their spots, because I'm sure Alfred is gonna find them once they're open.
Alanes gets bumped, no whistle goal. Llarena from the outside, no good. The rebound is tapped to Flores. Buenaflor on the left side, De Leon on the right. Morales asking for it. Dave trying to size up the defense of Shacalanes. He's directing traffic from the right wing. Flores pops out of the screen. Three-pointer on the way. Too strong.
Good pass.
De Leon gets it to the baseline. Morales falling away. Jumper no good. There's a foul on the rebounds play. That's going to go against the Oragons.
Yeah, also that's Llarena is going to be called for that foul, as he was caught holding on to the left arm of Bongay.
Errol Bongay, his first trip to the line this afternoon, has a chance to get the Cagers to within 1. Just as I say that, he misses his first free throw.
Yeah, kaya yung mga bigs ng Muntinlupa talagang stretched. I mean, they're not really a big, but they're forced to play big because they are small. Technically, pag tinignan mo compared versus the other bigs of the other teams.
And that is such an immense challenge.
Oh yeah, tama yun.
Both literally and figuratively, because
Correct.
you're going up against really seasoned veterans.
Correct. Kaya napaka-importante ng depensa ng mga gwardiya to be able to stop the penetrations and the man movement so that wala masyadong pressure do sa big man mo to protect the rim.
7 seconds left, ball in the hands of Alanes. Alanes leans in, that's no good, doesn't get the roll. Flores will heave. That's nowhere near going in, and that's the end of the first 10 minutes of action here between the Bicolandia Oragons and the Muntinlupa Cagers. It was a strong start for Bicolandia in this game, Coach Mike. Strong plays from guys like Charles Burgos and Cyrus Llarena, who came off the bench. But itong Muntinlupa, they just kept repeatedly trying to run and wear off the defense of the Cagers in this first quarter.
Well, a lot of the production of Muntinlupa really coming from or involving Alfred Flores, and we'll see what happens come the second quarter.
14-12 is the score. The first quarter score brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX.
Nagbabalik ang MPBL. Assistant Coach Alex Calweng talked about his players going in and out of the team. Nagbalik nga ang veterano nilang si Dave Moralde from an injury na wala naman. Itong isa sa kanilang mga key players na si Jasper Longalong, na until now iniintay pa raw nila ang final results of his left knee injury. Although their new guy Flores is starting to bloom and build chemistry with the team, nalalapit naman ang pag-alis ng kanilang SGL players na si Nagiab at De Leon. Pero for the trade window period, they are eyeing key veteran players. With their problem of closing out games, they believe na pag may veteran presence, iba ang magiging galaw ng team. Javi and Coach Mike.
That is very true, especially in a league like this where there is a lot of experience to go around, especially with the MPBL already removing the limit on ex-PBA players on each team. It used to be just 7, but right now there is no more limit to the ex-PBA players you can have on your squad.
Yeah, tama ka doon. And all the more na kailangan mo talaga ng alpha player in your team. And that alpha guy has to have played that role already in past teams, because right now, some of these guys are really trying to be the alpha lead para dito sa Muntinlupa. Young guns, role players shoved into the spotlight to be leading this team. And so it has to be a collective effort from both. And again, at the end of the day, kahit nga katulad ng sinabi mo, ang daming talent na dumarating at lalong kailangan mo, meron kang star player sa team mo.
One guy that is set to come in para sa kanila is former Makati player Larry Arpia, who has been spending a lot of time in the US. And I talked to Boss Kaiser Galvez, one of the team owners of Muntinlupa. few weeks ago, I think a couple of months ago pa nga, that Larry Arpia just really waiting for his papers to be fixed bago siya makabalik dito sa Pilipinas and eventually make the return here in the MPBL. That's one guy who can be a source of offensive production para sa kanila. He showed it for Makati when he was here a couple of seasons back.
Yeah. And, you know, whatever help is needed, I mean, if they're coming in, that's almost always a welcome, not just for the Muntinlupa team, but even, I suppose, dito rin sa Bicol.
Yeah, that guy was a bona fide double-digit scorer for Makati during Coach Vis Valencia's time. That free throw by Shaq Alanes is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. It's always going to be intriguing which players the teams will get in this transfer trade window that we're approaching. And I'm sure Muntinlupa, and mentioned by Andre in her report, will be getting quality guys.
Yeah, yun talaga ang kailangan nila, quality players and even leaders for that matter to lead up this Muntinlupa team.
Jetro Sombero, who previously played for the Bataan Risers, this was their home court. It continues to be. They've been bouncing around from here and the Bataan People's Center. Casajeros trying to test the mettle of the defense of Kevin Buenaflor. Di siya pinadaan doon. Moralde really defending Alanes hard. Alanes using the offhand. That's going to be an offensive foul against Chuck Alanes.
You could make a case that parang twice pa nga nagbento. The first one against Moralde when he tried to sell that. Look at that. Tried to sell that one. Nobody bought it. And this one halos pareho din, pero siya nasingit.
Usually what you should do there, right, is to be able to just attack the inner shoulder instead of using the offhand.
That's right.
Flores a little bit too strong on the floater. Moralde scrambling for it. Flores has it again. That's a tough shot. Even tried to kiss it off the glass if that was his intention.
Somebody's got to mop that side of the floor. I think twice na yata may nadulas dyan. Pareho pa yata si Dave. Sa ano na yun, sa situation na yun.
Ande si Dave lagi talaga nadadapa. Alfred Flores at the line for 2 shots. Currently he has 4 points in this game. Scored 7 in his debut. 14 against Nueva Ecija.
And so far, both these teams have not made any three-pointers yet. Both teams collectively all out of 10, each taking 5 attempts from their apiece.
Eh, di naman talaga yun ang strength ng parehong koponan na ito.
Ironically.
Yeah, because they have capable shooters.
Right. At saka ang Bicol kasi, they're roughly at number 8 when it comes to three-point makes. They're making 8 per game. And Muntinlupa, tama ka doon, wala talaga sila doon sa top when it comes to 3.
Sombero had to kneel down and get it. Flores pushes ahead. He cuts to the middle, leaves it for De Leon, who doesn't see Rojas from behind. De Leon gets it back. Marcos picks it up. McCoy, the fade. No, he gives it up also. Moralde sees Flores on the baseline. What a sequence for the Muntinlupa Cagers.
A glance of beautiful basketball on that quick action para dito sa Muntinlupa. Just shows you that if you don't have the alpha guy, you can go around and share that rock leading up to that basket.
And why not be our play of the game brought to you by Buenas? Imagine how many Cagers touched that basketball before that basket by Alfred Flores, a product of the hard work by Coach Mixon Ramos and his staff. Shaq Alanes, who is a veteran of the 3x3 circuit here in the Philippines, making his way back to the 5-on-5 game. He scored 15 points 13 of those coming in the second half against South Cotabato Warriors. Perfect from the free throw line and a very efficient 6 out of 8 from the field. We're all tied up at 16. Casajeros on the right side. Burgos going up against the smaller Flores. Help comes from Sombero. Ball tapped to Alanes. Corner pocket 3. Overshoots the mark. Muntinlupa trying to break this deadlock. Marcos short on the lay-in. Sombero could not get it inside. And look at Lordy Casajeros just making sure that Bicolandia gets that possession.
Yeah, and he really had to secure that kasi tatlong blue shirts ang nasa harapan niya trying to steal that ball away. Lalo na it's right there in the front court of Muntinlupa.
Check this basket once again by Cyrus Llarena. That brings us our lucky fans of the game, brought to you by Buenas.
Sarap talaga ng pakiramdam pagka-fan ka, natututukan ka ng ng camera.
Siyempre naman.
Diba?
Ikaw ba, coach, na nanonood ka ng PBA dati na nakunat ka na ng camera?
Oo, pero yung mga parang ilang beses lang yata yung nakita ko na nandun. Pag-uwi ko na lang sa ako na-realize. I think there was once that I saw myself on the video.
Tabla pa rin tayo dito at 16. Reyes trying to get it to Burgos. That's good defense
yeah,
by Jetro Sombero. Flores looking at the defense. Gives it to Moralde. De Leon down low to Sombero. Flores cuts. De Leon, free throw line J. That's pure.
So far, Coach Mixon deciding to go back to their very initial sets at the start of the season. And that time around, it worked. Really good finish right at the key.
Marge De Leon, of course, the younger brother of Pampanga's Matt De Leon. Do you see the resemblance? Meron no?
Actually, hindi ko masyadong somebody asked me that already, pero I didn't notice yet.
Baka dahil siguro iba lang yung kulay ng buhok ni Matt.
Siguro, medyo may pagka-brownish ng konti. No?
And the play is somewhat different, no? Mas mobile itong si Marge De Leon I think he plays more like a small forward rather than a big man.
That's right.
He scores on his second basket there. Back-to-back hits para kay Marge De Leon. Casajeros on the baseline. That's also good.
Now, one thing you don't want to do if you're going up against Lordy is to try to steal the ball from behind. Lalo na if that entire front side is going to be open for him. He's got a knockdown shot on that space.
Si Lordy yung mga tipo ng players na ang sarap kakampi pero nakakainis
ayaw
kalaban.
Oo, totoo yun.
Marcos jabs, steps to the left, three-pointer on the way. That could have been a great shot, but Sombero all alone and not challenged there on that putback.
Yeah, one of the very few offensive rebounds that we normally would see from Muntinlupa. Right now, it's their it's their 8th right now for this game. Their 8 offensive rebounds and 7 defensively.
Yeah, they've been very active on the boards here this afternoon, Coach.
Yeah.
And that's why they were able to climb back into this game, now ahead by 4. As we bring you another fast break of the game, brought to you by New Star Max. Win to the max. Dave Moralde has made some good passes in this game, leading to some successful baskets for the Muntinlupa Cagers.
Yeah, and so far, para dito sa game na to, it's only Alfred Flores who's scoring consistently. He's got 8 so far across his name, and everyone else got 4 and 2. Side of Bicolandia, it's only Llarena who's got 4 points, and everyone has chipped in with at least a field goal.
That's impressive coming from Alfred Flores. You know, considering that he's been scoring 8 points, hindi man makita sa stats, he only has 1 assist, but he's been making a lot of those passes before the assist.
Right. And Muntinlupa is in this this close because of the volume attempts that they've got. They actually have 10 more attempts than that of Bicol, and so, you know, the advantage of gaining the offensive rebounds really what helped them to be in this situation.
7 out of 17 from the field are the Oragons, while Muntinlupa is 8 out of 27. But if you think about the percentages, lamang pa rin naman dyan ang Oragons at 41%. Muntinlupa is just at 29. They've been going to the line a lot more, 6 out of 12 compared to Bicol's 4 out of 5.
And at the rate that Muntinlupa is going when it comes to the offensive rebounds, they're actually in schedule to get at least 16 or 20. Right now they have 8 or 9, which is a really good start. Their normal averages would be around 13 per game.
Reyes setting up the table here for Bicol. Delis at the corner. Shot clock winding down. RJ blocked by Marcos. Tweety Santos could not get that one to drop. Cuevas gets it down low to Marge De Leon. This is the usual set for the Muntinlupa Cagers.
Right. There's supposed to be a pin down here with Cuevas coming out.
Cuevas came out a little late. Marcos had to go in and attack. Scramble for the ball. Macabalog gets it. Delis loses it, and it's going to be Muntinlupa basketball.
Well, I'm sure both coaches, Coach Raymond and Coach Mixon, actually love the effort of both their respective teams. I mean, everyone diving for 50-50 balls and making sure it's difficult for the other team to be scoring on their end.
Well, generally, this energy has been the same for Muntinlupa all season long.
Yes.
Yan ang isa sa mga puhunan nila eh.
Yes.
Because, there's not really any other way for them to really compete if they do not exemplify this kind of energy. But for Bicolandia, this afternoon, there's an added pep to their step.
Yeah. Tama ka doon. So, they just keep going at it. I guess it really boils down to efficiency para dito sa Cagers.
Capasso waits for the drag screen. Di man tumama yun. Giab, that's a tough shot with a 24-second shot clock winding down. Delis, early pressure here given by Buenaflor. Delis goes all the way. The stretch, the adjustment, and the foul given up by Muntinlupa. That's going to be 2 shots coming up para kay RJ Delis.
Well, nobody could keep up with RJ on that right side rack attack. Nobody even stopped that drive. And so Coach Raymond really looking on, trying to figure out, saan ko ba pwedeng gamitan ng ibang scheme itong Muntinlupa. We'd like to think na dapat sana lalamangan na namin sila, pero right now nip and tuck pa rin ang laban. It really just goes to show the kind of compete that both teams have right here in this game.
Delis is the second leading scorer this season for Bicolandia, averaging 10.5 points per game. They're down by 2. De Leon faces up against a veteran here in the MPBL and Jomar Santos. Oh, offensive foul on Josh Giab.
Credit the defense of Bicolandia right there. Really staying home and understanding that a lot of their points have really been coming in the paint. Lalo na in the half-court sets, very few times nakakascore sa labas ang Muntinlupa Cagers. And so they clogged that left side and Josh couldn't do anything about it.
Just a short spell on the bench para dito kay Macabalog. He's back in the game. As you check out the turnover story, 10-5, Bicolandia leading that department, but not in the good way.
And again, babalik ka doon sa mga hustle effort talaga nitong Cagers. Kaya ganun ang situation. They're forcing them into turnovers.
You would think they'd be down by 7 or more, but they're only down by 2 points.
Correct.
Tweety Santos could not connect after that roll to the basket.
And so now if you're Coach Raymond, take care of the ball, walang points of turnovers, lamang tayo eh.
They need to stop here talking about the Bicolandia Dragons.
Yeah.
Muntinlupa has not been able to score the past 2 possessions. Cuevas on over to Buenaflor. Arenal back in the game for the Cagers. Giab, shot clock's winding down again here for Muntinlupa. Buenaflor, he can make that, and he does.
Yeah, and Kevin Buenaflor has got to make himself available for those type of situations. Clock winding down, they land a sniper from the outside. That's the first 3-pointer of the game. 1 out of 9 Muntinlupa. 0 out of 7 itong Bicol. And so Kevin Buenaflor, is he capable of making those shots? The big answer is yes. He's just got to step in that situation and make that attempt and knock it down.
The lead is 5 for the Cagers as we check out this 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances for a guy who's only averaging 9.1% from the outside this year. That definitely is a welcome sign for his confidence and for his team. We'll take a short break. Timeout on the floor. Now, you already mentioned earlier that the next game for the Oragons are the Quezon Huskers. That's going to happen on June 7. After that, they will face Bacolod. And on June 20, they will be going up against another team that is down in the team standings in the Imus Agimat.
Yeah, and this is why I think Coach Raymond is saying we have to win this game. Not just because nasa same spectrum kami, kundi in the 5 games, we think we can go 4 out of 5 in that match. Of course, it's a difficult task to be going up against Quezon, but you know they're still gonna try. But considering yung mga ibang kalaban nila, they feel like those are winnable games.
Strong drive to the basket there by former De La Salle archer Gabe Capacio, scoring his first basket of the game for the Cagers. Pito na ang kalamangan dito ng Muntinlupa. Burgos could not get that one to go. Capacio ahead to Giab. Someone's gonna cut middle here. Capacio receives it at the corner. Arenal hands it off to Cuevas. Giab trying to get it to Buenaflor. Kevin now step to the left. Buenaflor, that could have been big para sa kanya.
Yeah.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. It's been a quick first 20 minutes of action between these two squads. Not a lot of fouls being called. Not a lot of stoppages.
One guy you have to, take a look at is Chris Javier para dito sa Bicolandia.
But don't you have to take a look at RJ Delis too?
Yeah, RJ Delis is a given. But the advantage on the height sa ilalim, Chris Javier, makikita mo yung disparity. RJ is gonna knock those threes every time you make it available for him.
27 to 23. Giab, that's gonna go off the glass, no good. Rolls off the rim. Javier gets it for Bicolandia. Reyes to Makabalug. Javier wants it top of the circle.
Yeah, he can knock it down from there.
Javier against a smaller Cuevas. He needs a clear out here. Reyes doesn't oblige. Rafi takes it for himself. Too strong. Makabalug almost got another possession there para sa Bicol. Chris Javier is pleading to the bench that he should have gotten that ball. That was an obvious mismatch against Jasper Cuevas.
Tama ka doon. That's very spot on, Javi. And you could see the advantage of Chris Javier. He really was asking for that ball. By the time he came in, about 3-4 times already we've seen him post up, but never got to that advantage para sa Bicol.
And I understand his frustration here, Coach, being with a team that has not won in 10 games. This is a guy who has known to win all his life, especially when he was in high school with San Beda. I don't think they lost the game when he was there.
Oh, yeah.
That was also the time that Coach Atoba Dolato was still with San Beda.
Yes. And so, yung transition na ganon, kahit na on a losing team ka na, doon pa rin, there's that fire in the gut, that you want to keep on winning.
It's the Cagers' turn to burn a timeout here. 20 seconds to go, possibly the last possession of the quarter for the Cagers, but they will come in after this timeout with 14 seconds to shoot. We're back inside the Union Sports Complex in Kamalig, Bataan. for the first set of games this week dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. This is Javi Balanya, joined by Coach Mike Perez and Miss Andrea Endicio. Muntinlupa and Bicol for our first game this Monday. 27-23, apat ang lamang ng Cagers. Oh, that is an offensive foul on the screen set there by Jetro Sombero. That's not really what you want coming out of a timeout, especially considering it should have been your last play of the quarter.
That's right. Sayang yung opportunity na yon. I mean, they had a lot of time to execute. Even coming off that pin down. Ito kasi pang matitira sa kanila dapat, no?
Now a chance to write the final sentence of the first half here para sa Bicolandia. Rafi Reyes, he gets it up and in off the bank. The veteran Rafi Reyes getting the end one opportunity.
It's only a matter of time before, you know, leaders from both teams would actually rise up to the occasion. But in this case, this is the time that Rafi says, okay, ito na yung oras.
Rafi Reyes, even though he is known to be a facilitator, he is a very capable scorer.
And you can see it in his release.
Reyes gets the bonus. Sombero with 2 seconds left. No good. And a strong finish to the second quarter here for the Bicolandia Oragons after being down by as much as 7 points in that second period.
Yeah, it really mattered to be formidable defensively para dito sa Bicol. And Bicol, there were instances they could have taken advantage, but really Muntinlupa taking care of their end of the floor.
27-26, our halftime score brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. After the first 20 minutes of action, the score is 27-26 lamang ng isa dito ang Muntinlupa against the Bicolandia Oragons. First game of our Monday triple header here at the Orion Sports Complex in Camalig, Bataan. Bicolandia joined by Coach Mike Perez. Bicolandia after a strong start. Muntinlupa getting back there in this game to be able to carry this 1-point advantage into halftime.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of it really has to do with the offensive rebounding of itong Muntinlupa. Right now, they already have 11 offensive rebounds out of that 22. So 50% of the rebounds coming offensively. And the thing is, they've been able to force 11 turnovers para dito sa Bicolandia and scoring 11 points out of it. And so rebounds and defense, that's been the key para sa Muntinlupa. Although I talked to Coach Mixon, he says there's still a lot that they can improve on, lalo na in ball distribution. While for Bicolandia, really a matter of making those shots. 37% is pretty good, pretty solid, pero kailangan pa na iba.
Yeah, just a total of 10 assists between these two teams. RJ Deles leading the way for the Oragons with 7 points. Rafi Reyes has 5. Liarena with 2 big baskets and an assist in the first quarter has 4 points. Sa kabila naman, Alfred Flores leading the way with 8. Marge De Leon with 4. Bonaflor and Capacio combining for 6.
Yan, yung Marge, Kevin, and Gwyn na yun. Those three really coming off the bench.
And just like at the start of the game, Joshua Giab also opens up scoring festivities here in the second half.
Yeah, and one thing that you would like to think na itong Bicol's gonna take advantage of the absence of a rim protection dito sa side ng Muntinlupa. Pero that's not the case. Pareho lang silang 10 points in the game, and this is one guy that they really need to involve in when you talk about action on bigs.
Yeah, Chris Xavier only with 2 points in this game. Rafi Reyes hit that big basket plus a bonus shot at the end of the second quarter to make this just a 1-point game. But Giab with back-to-back hits here to extend this lead back up to 5.
Now, I like that Cuevas actually involved his teammates in that attack. He already had that shot, but decided to give it up for a teammate who's actively participated in that action.
Josh Giab playing the passing lanes there, almost coming up with a steal. Fresh 14 here for the Oragons. There you see Coach Mixon Ramos looking for the 3rd win this afternoon against the still winless Bicolandia squad. JR Nangsang starts this second half para dito sa kanyang koponan. He's joined by Cyrus Liarena, Rafi Reyes, RJ Deles, and Chris Javier. There's a foul called against Dave Moralde on the double team as he tried to shackle itong si JR Nangsang.
And ganun talaga ang mangyayari sa depensa ng Muntinlupa. You're forced to help out teammates, lalo na kung paint action ang pinag-uusapan natin.
Short roll by Javier. Takes it off the glass. No good. Akoy Marcos now pushing it for Muntinlupa. Arenal near the elbow. Hands it off to Moralde. Poor pass there to Josh Giab. Almost tapped away by Chris Javier.
Yeah, good coverage there by Chris Javier. Offering a top side 3-4s on the defensive side.
Marcos wants it on the block against the taller Cyrus Liarena. Oh, double team comes. Good timing there by JR Nangsang.
Yeah, I like that he said yung good timing kasi hinayaan niya muna makarating doon until wala nang espasyo mapupuntahan. That's when that secondary defender came in.
Deles launches the 3. That's a miss. Marcos goes into the lane, tries to initiate contact against Chris Javier. He doesn't budge.
Oh, yeah. Hindi na natinag eh, no?
Liarena sidestep, puts it up, no good. Javier the offensive rebound.
You can tell Javier really wants to win this one.
Oh, yeah. And they tried to go down low to Chris Javier, who had a mismatch. Then the turnover by Nangsang resulting in this fast break for Muntinlupa, which Bicolandia tried to stop with an ordinary foul. Take a look at this again. That's a good tap by RJ Arenal. And then Nangsang held on to the body there of Dave Moralde. That's an unsportsmanlike foul against JR Nangsang. Hence, Dave Moralde will be trooping to the line for 2 free throws, and Muntinlupa will be getting ball possession.
And Chris, in that situation, on that sealed post up in the middle against Josh Giab, he already felt he had the advantage. Sayang lang, na-deflect yung pasa.
Javier has only been averaging 6.3 points per game this season. Not really type of numbers you would expect coming from a PVA veteran. You would expect him to average double-double numbers, especially with this Bicol team that doesn't really have that deep of a front line.
At saka si Chris is very much good from 15 feet out. He
Yep.
can actually knock down perimeter jumpers, let alone do post-ups.
Moralde gets a step on Casajeros. Help is given there by Javier. Cuevas takes it. Odd-looking jumper, but that's gonna go para kay Jasper Cuevas.
This is a really good quarter para dito kay Cuevas. An assist and that basket made.
Scoreless in the first half. That was his first field goal of the game. At RJ Delis manufacturing a shot there, and he's frustrated with himself. He feels like he should have made it. That should have been an end-one opportunity para sa kanya.
At saka mabigat tong kombinasyon na nasa floor para dito sa Bicol. You're talking about Lordy, RJ, you got Rafi, and Chris. All at the same time. Sama mo na si Rojas there.
Delis good on the first free throw. 2 for 2 para kay RJ Delis. 76.7% free throw shooter this year for the former CSB Blazer. You know, that's a guy that really loves to play ball. RJ Delis is. Errol Bongay is back in the game for Coach Mixon Ramos. Cuevas drives, kicks it back out to Arenal. They hand it off to Moralde. Dave, inside hand scoop is no good. That's going to go the way of the Uragons.
And so far, that baseline defense has worked pretty well para dito kay Coach Raymond. And, you know, they are finally understanding na kailangan pa natin ng konti pang effort. Lalo na ngayon, tinan mo naman, ito na yan.
Coach Mixon Ramos will be challenging that last out-of-bounds play. The yellow light is on in front of Miguel Pere. Score is 35-28. Our first challenge of the afternoon galing kay Coach Mixon Ramos. His team starting off strong here in the second half, courtesy of plays by Jasper Cuevas.
And this is going to be crucial, I guess, for an additional possession.
All right, we'll be taking a short break. The verdict when we come back.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. Well, the session stays before the players with 2 seconds on the clock. 2 seconds free.
Challenge by Coach Mixon Ramos is successful. It was last touch on the Bicolandia Oragon, so they will be taking possession here once again. I had to be a quick one. There was only 2 seconds left on the shot clock. There's a push against Errol Bongay. So turnover going against the Muntinlupa Cagers. 8-2 so far here in the third quarter. Favor of the Muntinlupa Cagers. Rafi Reyes turns the corner. There's a foul against Makoy Marcos.
Yeah, that entire left side of the floor completely loaded with players from Bicol, and left that right side for that drive by Rafi.
First personal against Makoy Marcos, but he'll be subbed out here by Gabe Capacio. Scored 3 points in the first 20. 14 on the shot clock for the Uragons. Javier up top. Rojas in the elbow, had to give it up. Delis, corner pocket 3. That's money para kay RJ Delis.
Second three-pointer for Bicol so far. They're shooting 20%, going 2 out of 10 from there. They need 6 more to get at least to their average of 8.
First guy in double figures in the game. 12 points para kay RJ Deles. Arenal, the drop step. Still has the basketball. Dribble was alive, went up for the reverse. Chris Javier could not challenge it well enough to prevent the miss.
Yeah, and he did all he could to try and stop Arenal. Pero once that baseline got claimed, really not much Chris could do.
That's impressive, crafty work from a young guy like RJ Arenal, who still has years to play for Coach Louis Gonzalez. Meanwhile, on the other side, a foul given up by the Oragons. Check this one. The extra pass coming from Rojas, giving it up to RJ Deles. That's our three-point shot brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
And ganun ang mangyayari for the most part. Since you're very much concentrated on getting the defensive rebound, a lot of times bigs like Bongay would be right there in the shaded area. So if you kick it out to a shooter like RJ in the corner, long closeout, that most probably is going to be a late cover.
Muntinlupa's leading scorer of the game, Alfred Flores, is back. Gets it to Arenal. Through 3 defenders, makes the pass. Flores short. The tip in, also short by Bongay. Burgos gets it. Casajeros ahead to Rojas. Thought he had someone to pass it to.
Good defensive stop right there. But prior to that, dalawang offensive rebound kagad yun para against dito sa Muntinlupa.
Bongay launches. That's an air ball para kay Errol Bongay. Not really his cup of tea.
And Coach Mixon was pointing to that post-up advantage underneath na hindi nakita ni Bongay. So sometimes you have to qualify. If you're in that position, is it my shot? Or is it someone else's shot that I have to give up to another guy who's got more advantage?
And you know, some coaches would say, there's a reason why you're wide open.
Oh, yeah. And so in that case, if you want to be able to make score from there, you got to work on your shots.
Rojas double teamed. Deles, can he go for back-to-back hits? Nope. Burgos offensive rebound. Casajeros gets the pass and launches it from up close.
Good interior passing right there para sa Bicol. Notches them another 2 points. 4-point game.
Solid screen set by Bongay. Flores to the left side. Capasso from the baseline. Jumper is good.
And I was talking to Coach Mixon right at the halftime, and I told him, when the ball's in Alfred's hands, you're running things smoothly. And so niya, yeah, I agree. And so right there and then, nakita na naman natin, Alfred's got it in his hands and allowed Gwyn to just score perimeter.
Burgos gets the step. No good. Casajeros is there again. He gets his own miss.
Now, if you freeze frame that situation, the reason that they're getting the offensive rebound, Bongay was way outside. Dave was covering the corner. And so the guys left inside, you've got Gwyn, Rocky, and Alfred. Those 3 guys battling it out against the bigs of itong Bicol.
The second chance opportunities have grown here in the quarter for the Oragons after Muntinlupa was leading in that department during our first half. They had 8 offensive rebounds. Sorry, 11 offensive rebounds in that first half.
Right. And right now they already have 7 offensive rebounds, and you know that's pretty much a good significant improvement on the boards area para dito sa Bicol.
And all 3 of them, that was the third, coming from Lordy Casajeros.
Yeah.
Rocky Isidre trying to prevent Itzel Rojas from getting good position on that right side. That was off ball.
These calls are actually momentum swingers. You know, it's slowing down the team who's got the advantage and giving time for the ones that's trailing to recover. And in this case, that would be Muntinlupa and Bicol respectively.
Muntinlupa already in the penalty with 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Bicol doing very decent from the line in this game. Yep. At least still decent. 9 out of 11. Capasso goes to the Bongay screen. Gabe to the left side. Marge De Leon down low to Bongay. Errol posting up against Rojas. That's a foul against Charles Burgos.
Now that's a better attack para kay Bongay. You're on your spot, which is your sweet spot. Aces in their places. You gotta go get it.
That's only the 13th foul of the quarter para kay Errol Bongay. Edsel Ross is saying that that foul should have been against him. And there the correction has been made. Charles Burgos is not the one given the foul. It is Edsel Rojas. All 2 points of Errol Bongay in their last game against Ecija came from the free throw line. He was 2 out of 4 this afternoon. Bongay with 2 points, 5 rebounds. Make that 3. Back to a 7-point lead, 41-34. Shakalanes back in the game for scoring opportunities here for the Oragons. Rojas faces up against De Leon. Baseline is shut down. Flores picks up the ball. Flores goes between the legs, but it's stolen by Bicol, and Rojas is cherry picking on the other side.
A bunch of turnovers. That's 9 so far for Bicol. It's the 9th one, and that's going to be crucial as they trying to make a little momentum here. Speaking of Bicol.
Dangerous pass given there by Isidre. And Alanes gives it up. Oh, Casajeros.
Wow.
He had to look back.
Yeah.
A good thing the foul was called against Muntinlupa, which Lordy took a lot of offense to.
Yeah. And he's asking for a review on that one. That would have been the 4th straight points of turnovers para dito sa Bicolandia. Could have cut this down to a 3-point game. And, you know, just careless basketball there by Muntinlupa.
Our referees will be reviewing that last play. Tama nga naman, you know, they have reason to ask for a review because not the pass si Lordy after that. They didn't allow him to land well.
There you see Coach June Dizon as well. I'd like to thank the assistant coach on skills for Coach Raymond.
Tignan natin yun. There you see Casajeros.
Oh, yeah.
Got a little bit too deep, actually. That was a tough angle to work with.
Yeah.
And I think he really got distracted by looking back.
Yeah.
But after the review, it's just a regular foul against Muntinlupa. Casajeros has not been doing well from the line this afternoon. Now 0 out of 3.
Technically, parang slight nudge lang, eh, no? Pero again, you gotta allow him to land properly.
Casajeros is only a 43.8% free throw shooter this season. That's his first conversion of the afternoon. Bicol is not playing with Marvin Lee in this game. And, you know, that's also a big loss for them, at least in this match. He's the top scorer for Bicol this season at 14.3 points per game.
Yeah, and there you go. I think that's the number.
They're down by 4 here, 41-37, under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter.
So it's not just the number, it's the pressure he gives on defensively for the Muntinlupa if he's in the floor for Bicol.
Bongay kicks it out to Flores, who had to launch. Good line, just a little bit too strong there para kay Alfred Flores. Cuevas will check back in. Rafi Reyes is also back in the game for the Oragons. Rojas to Cyrus Llarena. He has not been the same impactful player he was in the first quarter. There's another foul here against Muntinlupa.
Yeah, I think this one was on Cuevas.
That's right, that's on Cuevas.
And he just came in. Ito medyo may complaint on the other end between Rojas and Kevin. Well, those guys were trying to battle it out on the weak side post, as Rojas was trying to post up against Kevin before that ball got swung the other way.
Yeah, there's a lot of physicality going on between those two guys.
Yeah.
And Rojas has been bleeding for his points here in this game.
Yeah, and you could see right there Coach Raymond talking to Rojas now, you got to keep your cool. I need you in the game. And, you're within good striking distance, no? And you like that tap on the shoulder, too, between coach and player. That's just acknowledgement that both of them understand what's at stake and what needs to be done.
Rojas called for that technical. That's why there was a free throw given to the Muntinlupa Cagers. Pero may foul nga na tinawag laban sa Muntinlupa on that previous possession for Bicolandia, and Muntinlupa has been in the penalty ever since the 4-minute mark of this third quarter.
Well, ito ang isang bagay na pwedeng kuhanin ng nitong Bicolandia.
Yeah, Burgos had 15 points, almost a double-double for him with 9 rebounds. He was their top scorer in that game last one. Let's turn you over to Ms. Andrea Andicio.
During the huddle mula sa panig ng Muntinlupa, during the start of the game, aminado silang out of focus ang kanilang players, hence the slow start of the Cagers. Marami raw pwedeng factors, but the biggest would be that mental condition that they're facing a winless team. Kaya during huddle, they just reminded the players of what they have prepared. And true enough, after that, with no something special added, no adjustments given, just a change of mentality, they got the lead. Back to you guys.
And that's why they were out of the locker room early compared to Bicolandia, who came in with just a few minutes remaining during the break. And there's another challenge here coming from Coach Mixon Ramos.
Minsan talaga kailangan lang pagbabago ng pananaw sa mga bagay ba.
You always have to be open to new ideas.
Oo, yeah. No, wala na mga technique, pananaw muna, simulan natin. That's a good way to put it. Good report.
Sabi mo nga sa akin, Coach, on our way here, importante ma-explain mo yung why kasi mas madali na malalaman kung paano yung how.
Yes.
This is the second challenge of the game for the Muntinlupa Cagers. We'll take a short break.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful. Ball possession stays.
Unsuccessful challenge para kay Coach Mixon Ramos. Take a look at that last one again. There was the free throw by Rojas.
Hard to see from that angle.
But our referees do have the virtue of better camera angles sa kanilang replay table. Alanes gets a screen from Rojas. There's a foul given up there by Errol Bongay. So 2 more free throws coming up here for the Bicolandia Oragons, who after going 9 for 10 from the free throw line in the first half are now 12 out of 18. So imagine if they made all of their misses, this would have been a different ball game.
That's right. Free throws are really going to be key in winning games, lalo na this season. I feel that sa dami ng bigs na dumating, free throws gonna be key.
And for the number of close games that's been happening this season, especially here at the start, you really need to be able to be efficient in shooting from the free throw line, because in the end game, that's really all that matters.
Yeah. Nandun yung singil sa dulo eh.
A split by Alanes when the floor doesn't get the finger roll to drop. It will stay with Muntinlupa. 15 on the shot clock for the Cagers.
Baseline out of bounds here. You're up 3.
Burgos only with 3 points and 5 rebounds in this game after going 15 and 9 against South Cotabato. Win a floor. Heavy defense by Shaq Alanes. Marcos facing up against Cyrus Llerena. Shot clock winding down. Marcos delivers a pass. Magbuhos misses. Where will the ball go? It's a jump ball. No conclusive evidence by our referees, and that's why the decision was made to call a jump ball. Possession arrow pointing the side of the Bicolandia Oragons. Coach Alex Calaweng is asking for a foul.
Yeah, he's asking for that foul underneath. He's not gonna get it. This is the first time we've seen Vince on the floor?
Yeah.
That's the first time, right?
No, the second time.
Okay.
He already came in late in the first half.
All right.
Reyes leaves it for Burgos. They try to go to Rojas, who was sealing in the middle.
Kanina pang nararamdaman ni Rojas yung advantage niya sa baba. He's been sealing and doing pin downs in an effort to get a post up. Right there, he gets rewarded. See, Coach Alex right there could not believe he was asking for a foul on one end, and then he got they were awarded another one on the other side.
That's the same play that they were trying to set up for Chris Xavier early here in the second half. There you see Coach Alex Calaweng not very happy with the defensive play of Muntinlupa past few possessions.
Oo, ano talaga eh. Situations like this in a close game really would matter, and up only by 3 points.
Coach Mixon Ramos trying to clarify things with our referee, Sep Pingol.
This is a long third quarter.
It is. After a quick first half, a lot of stoppages have been made here in the third period.
And I guess there's equal importance for both teams. Definitely itong Bicol gusto ng manalo, no? And this is the first of the 5-game remaining games nila here in this scheduled games, and they hope to get 4 out of 5 from there. Talang
there's a warning called against Marge De Leon, but the foul will stand. So that's why Edsel Rojas will still be taking 2 free throws here. And di na rin naman pwede challenge dito ang Muntinlupa.
yeah.
Because they've already used up all their challenges. First one was successful, second one was not. Rojas scoring on the first free throw. He has 6 this afternoon. He did not play against South Cotabato, surprisingly, to see Edsel Rojas. Split at the line. 42-40. Minute and change remaining here in the third quarter. First game of our Monday triple header here at the Orion Sports Complex. March De Leon. Tight pass to Warlo Batak. Given there by Jasper Cuevas, and Batak finishes.
And so far, it's been the decision-making of Cuevas that's making it really good a quarter para dito sa Cagers. Again, on that post-up.
Rojas forces that one up. Oh, that's sort of been a backing violation.
Yeah, almost.
I'm surprised Bicol didn't budge.
Yeah.
Marcos was really behind that line when he received that pass. Under 30 seconds to go here. Shot clock winding down for Muntinlupa. Marcos takes it. Good line, just too strong. Shot clock is now off. Rafi Reyes out to Burgos. Baseline drive. Llerena gets the kick out. Creates separation. Silas Llerena could not hit from downtown, and a foul. That's going to go against Warlo Batak. That's going to be 2 free throws for Bicolandia.
Yeah, and boy, everybody that goes up against Edsel on the low block, ganun na nangyayari.
Batak with a floater there, his second field goal of the game. That brings us our lucky fan of this game, brought to you by Buenas.
Ang nagpaganda sa move na yun, Javi, is yung quick decision to kick out by Cuevas and quick recognition of one dribble float.
And that's why despite the entry of Alfred Flores into this squad, Jasper Cuevas continues to be their starting point guard.
Yeah. And so, babalik ka doon sa punto na kailangan talaga ng alpha lead. And this time around, it seems to be the point guards both in Alfred as well as Cuevas.
Rojas missing on another free throw there. 0 out of 3 in his last shots from the line. Free throws have also been a problem for the Oragons this season.
Yeah.
You know, numerous games would have been closer if they made their free throws. 3 seconds left. Batak fumbles a bit. Oh, that looks good. Just short. Galing dito kay Warlo Batak.
And he felt it. That had a good line. It's a little bit short on that last attempt.
It was good backspin on the shot, even with the odd release. But that's going to be it for our third quarter. The score is 44-40. Third quarter score brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Presenting our Suzuki muscular and sporty fan of the game, just like the Avenus, do more and achieve more with the muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki, the Avenus. Oras na para magmotor.
Oh, and so that's why they seem to be lacking one defensive guard. That's Nicolo Gonzalez, not available today for Muntinlupa. And this is Kevin taking the place of a homegrown Nicolo.
Two of the most tenured players for the Muntinlupa Cagers here in the MPBL.
Yeah. And we have Coach Raymond Ferrer also watching us from down south. Happy viewing, Coach.
A little lull here as we are about to begin the fourth quarter. Buenaflor will be starting the final frame together with Jasper Cuevas, Makoy Marcos, Warlo Batak, and Marge De Leon. While Bicol fields in Alanes, Lau Llarena, Rojas, and Rafi Reyes. And not even 20 seconds into this, a foul already given up by Bicolandia.
And I'm sure Bicolandia is feeling the pressure right now. They're letting this game slip away from them. And so every possession now would matter. They tried everything in the third. They tried to post up Edsel Rojas. But, you know, it's still a matter of this 4-point lead para dito sa Muntinlupa.
Oh, 0 out of 2 from the line para dito kay Makoy Marcos. Both teams not really doing well from the line this afternoon. Muntinlupa is 11 out of 19. Bicol is 14 out of 24.
And those 10 missed free throws for Bicol, you know, malaking bagay yan.
Finally, Edsel Rojas connecting on the inside. Numerous times Bicolandia has tried to set him up in the middle of the paint.
Well, two important things that happened there. First, he got that post up. Second, it's to start the fourth quarter frame. And so you want that energy of Edsel to translate into points, because after all, it's really about making shots or getting stops.
And this is a good precedent for Bicolandia, in my opinion, Coach, because once Chris Javier comes in, I'm sure that this is going to be the same play that they're going to run for Chris.
That is correct. And so, you understand, may advantage tayo doon, puntahan natin yun, subukan natin.
You mentioned the absence of rim protection, almost the entire coverage, and that's something that Muntinlupa does not have. Batak in trouble, forces it up, gets the roll. Warlo Batak knocking down big baskets with a shot clock winding down here in the second half.
Yeah, talk about quality minutes. Kanina, nakita natin si Cuevas. Now it's Batak's turn. So every guy trying to contribute by committee para dito sa Muntinlupa.
Lau to the left side. Llarena gives it up back to Kent. Alanes doesn't settle for the outside shot. Alanes tried to fish for a foul. Offensive rebound to Cyrus Llarena. Too strong on the reverse.
But again, you get offensive board, but it really is a matter of getting those baskets. Lalo na that close.
46-42. Cuevas gets the screen from Marge De Leon. Cuevas gives it up to Gia.
Good shot.
Josh, long on the three-point shot.
That was a good shot by Josh.
Giab has been starting quarters off strong here in this game, except that his first attempt here in the fourth quarter did not go through, but he gets the rebound, plus draws a foul against Cyrus Llarena.
Well, Llarena really tried to go after that offensive board, but you know, Josh was there first before he could even claim that rock.
Charles Burgos, RJ Deles, and no, that's only the two guys coming in there for Bicolandia Oragons. Chris Javier is still on the bench.
Yeah, it makes you wonder at what point siya papasok. Still, it's early in the fourth, so you know, maybe they're gonna put him in to try and finish all the way.
That time, no lucky roll or bounce para kay Warlo Batak. Kent Lau dribbles it to Shaq Alanes. Alanes kicks it out to Reyes. Burgos,
Good
the drop step, too strong off the glass.
Ganda nun drop, hindi lang bumabasket no?
They missed a lot of point-blank shots here in the second half. Talking about Bicolania. Giab carving out space. Giab short on the hook shot. He stripped. He will get two shots.
Yeah, and that was, I guess, Deles that was trying to help out on that low block. Waited for that second dribble to come before that double came in. And I'm sure Coach Raymond would have loved to take that possession back.
7 points and 7 rebounds this afternoon para kay Josh Giab. Di mo ramdam, Coach, no?
Oh.
He's doing it quite silently.
Yeah.
Except for the start of quarters in the first period and in the third.
And I guess it's because he's been very efficient and silently. He's shooting, what, 3 out of 7 from the field?
This free throw by Josh Giab is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Although he could not make that second free throw. 47-42.
Yeah, the free throw's been a struggle for Josh so far in this game.
Explain to us, Coach, why Bicolandia has not been able to tie things up or get back in the driver's seat.
Well, primarily because of the points of turnovers. They're down 3 points on that stat at isama po ba yung mga missed na free throws. It's 13 versus 10 on points of turnovers. And the free throws, that 11 missed free throws, really telling a lot to the cause of Bicol.
Oh, they have 16 turnovers themselves. Cuevas against RJ Deles. De Leon fakes the shot out. Burgos is right there with him. Cuevas making the cut. That's a live ball. That should have been a live ball.
It should have been a live ball.
Alanes already had it before the buzzer sounded.
Yeah, I think so too. Bicol was already ready to take advantage of that the other way.
And that's frustrating if you're Coach Raymond Valenzuela, considering that you were in a transition opportunity. Defense of Muntinlupa not really set yet.
Understandably, that's right. And so that could have been advantage para sa Bicol.
Reyes to Kent Lau. This will be big. Kent
yeah.
Lau drains it from the left corner.
Well, I'm sure they're gonna remember that third three-pointer of the game because this brings them down to only 2 points. Now you gotta get a stop if you're Bicol.
Three-pointers have not been aplenty here in this game between the two squads. Flores trying to get past Rafi Reyes. 9 on the shot clock. Reyes from the free throw line. Back irons the floater. Reyes looks up, but looks like they're going to set this one. 60 minutes to play in this game.
We talked about the post-ups. Are they going to go that way?
Lau thought twice about the three. Alanes gives it back out. Burgos to the left side. Reyes, catch, set, fire. No good. The tap goes to Burgos. Alanes back to Reyes. Shot clock at 10.
Kent Lau's the hottest hand.
Kent Lau, can he get this one? That's short. Burgos got away with the push for that offensive rebound. He is fouled. That's already 13th foul of Muntinlupa in this quarter. That's going to go against Dave Moralde. Check this one out. Multiple possessions here para sa Bicolandia, but this was the previous possession. The made three-point shot galing kay Kent Lau.
But it matters when you move that ball around. All 5 guys touch that ball on that last possession and leaving the wide open Kent Lau for that 3.
One of the best ways, if not the best way, to have the defense commit a mistake is when you move that deep ball side to side. Casajeros got clipped on the arm on that fadeaway shot. That's going to go against Jasper Cuevas. But the thing is, Lordy hasn't been able to be that much successful from the line this afternoon.
Yeah, he's got to do better. Lordy, how many free throws has he?
He's 1 out of 4.
Yeah, 1 out of 4, right. It's 1 out of 4, and so you got to be better in this. Oh, man.
Oh, air ball on the first free throw. Could have been a chance to tie for Bicolandia. Casajeros is 0 out of 2. He's now 1 out of 6.
Wow.
Reyes. Tough shot against Flores. That might have been partially blocked. Giab is ahead of the pack, but the steal there by Burgos. Reyes forward to Teles. Kent Lau from the corner. No good. Giab gets the rebound, but being challenged there by Burgos and Casajeros. That's a foul given up by Lordy.
Oh, man. Fouls, you're down only by 2 points.
Quite questionable, really, those 2 missed free throws by Lordy Casajeros. I don't think he would miss those 2 free throws with this much at stake with just under 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, but the good thing for Coach Raymond is he's got Chris right here, back in there. He's been asking for the rock. He's been seeing advantages. We'll see if he's able to receive it at a spot that he could score.
Javier would have checked in near the 6-minute mark of this 4th quarter had it not been for that made 3-pointer by Kent Lau. Moralde gets a step on his former high school teammate, Chris Javier. Dave Moralde scoring on his first field goal here in the 2nd half. 49-45. Double high screen setup here for Rafi Reyes. Javier on top. He sets the roadblock for Casajeros. Moralde switches on him. That's last touch on Muntinlupa.
Just didn't have that right angle on that pass.
Check out the play of the game brought to you by Buenos. Moralde turning back the hands of time there, just like in high school. Dave Moralde all the way to the cup, setting Javier up with that fake.
And he read that perfectly well. Long closeout by a big man that doesn't have a back pedal quickly. Good read.
Alfred Flores and the Muntinlupa Cagers up by 4 here with still 4 minutes and 16 seconds to go. But Bicolandia has possession A chance to get them to within 2. They had a chance to tie earlier with those 2 free throws by Lordy Casajeros, but he missed those. Unfortunately for the Oragons, who are not doing so well from the line. In fact, I would say they're not doing well at all from the free throw line. As you take a look at Spider Mac Talio, and Tonton Bringas priming up for their matchup later on, right after this.
And we are talking about 13 missed. Oh, a steal.
That's not what you want coming out of the timeout. Alfred Flores giving Muntinlupa a 6-point lead here.
Boy, a baseline out of bounds, botched by a steal by Flores.
It's really hard to believe that Bicol is performing like this season, especially in crucial situations, considering that you have a lot of veteran presence in that roster.
Yeah.
These guys are seasoned vets. We could maybe say that Charles Burgos is the exception to that. But Shaq Alanes, RJ Delas, Rafi Reyes, and Chris Javier, that I believe is unacceptable.
And that's something they gotta work on here if you want to come up with your first win against Muntinlupa. After all, you know, the mention of you want to win this one.
Javier, that's a gimme for him.
There you go.
Bicolandia, with all of their woes here at the second part of our fourth quarter, they're happy to be down by just 4 points. There's still a lot of basketball to be played.
But first off, you got to get a stop and not be content on just changing baskets here.
Muntinlupa has gone with the 2-point guard setup here for the final part of our fourth frame. Cuevas and Flores both on the floor para sa kanila. Arenal against Chris Javier. He's had his number in this game. Arenal
Good block.
gets blocked. Access denied there by Chris Javier. Reyes will not force a transition. Oh, that's a dangerous pass to Chris Javier. Good intention, just bad execution by Rafi Reyes. Giab all alone, no challenge underneath there by Bicolandia.
Couldn't get anything going. Chris Javier already had that rim run in the middle, but a wild pass right there in the middle, rim run.
53-47. Delis the kick out to Alanes. Shaq goes inside, draws the foul. Muntinlupa wanted a walk. That's good hard drive to the hole there. Got it kay Shaq Alanes.
That pass was too wild right there. Hit the bottom of the board and allowing this possession to happen.
Well, what a heads-up play there by Alfred Flores.
Yeah, didn't even look at Cuevas after receiving and just swung it right there in the middle with Josh running.
That's just the mark of a 2-point guard there. Alanes makes good on his first free throw. Only 4 points in the game for Shaq Alanes. Now, this is also a guy who should get going for Bicol this season.
No, he's gotta come up and, you know, produce those needed points right now.
Only averaging 9.9 points per contest this year. Alanes was one of those players who came in late para sa Bicolandia just before the start of their season. They're down by 4 here.
And everybody's got to step up on Bicol, lalo na you don't have a Marvin Lee. Oh, another foul right there.
Chris Javier called for the personal there. Josh Giab is at the line for 2 shots. Chance to put more distance against Bicol. Giab makes good on the first. Giab already with 9 points and 8 rebounds. Trying to make up for that lackluster performance against the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards.
Yeah, that was a difficult game for Muntinlupa. I mean, you're going up against, you know, a team like Nueva Ecija was firing on all cylinders.
Especially for the bigs like Josh Giab, as we now enter the final 2 minutes, brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. Now Bicol trying to make up for lost time here. They're only down by 4.
Muntinlupa not out of the woods yet.
Deles right there with Moralde. Pass tapped. Last touch on Bicolandia with still 6 on the shot clock.
Coach Raymond telling his guys, you got 6 seconds to defend. If you do it successfully, you get a run on the other floor, and Coach Mixon is not going to take his chances. He wants a really good setup here from the inbounds.
1 minute and 41 seconds left here in this game. Bicolandia down by 4. Alfred Flores in his 3rd game para dito sa Muntinlupa this afternoon. That was his 2nd showing for Muntinlupa this season. He scored 14 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and dished out 3 assists. 10 of those 14 coming in the 2nd half. Flores right on cue, delivering a clutch basket there for the Cagers.
Yeah, and he's just been that guy. I mean, him and Josh Gia, those two.
Bicolandia now their turn to burn a timeout to see if they can still get back in this game. You see that's a quick play coming off a timeout, and Flores getting it over 2 guys.
Tsaka ang bilis mag-isip, no? I mean, that quick decision making by Flores.
1 minute and 35 remaining in this game. Muntinlupa up by 6. The Abra Weavers set to go up against the Bacolod City of Smiles in our 2nd game. Right after this matchup between the Bicolandia Oragons and the Muntinlupa Cagers. Bicol still without a win in 10 games, while itong Muntinlupa, they're trying to get back into the win column after that huge loss against Nueva Ecija.
And that's one team that you want to start peaking now, this part of the season.
Alanes draws another foul against Muntinlupa. That's going to go against Josh Giab. That's been a talent of Shaq Alanes all throughout his career. The ability to draw fouls in situations where you might not even think that you would give up a foul. And unfortunately for Muntinlupa, that's going to be the 5th para kay Josh Giab.
And so somebody needs to step up now. With only 1 minute and 24, you're up. Basically, it's a 2-possession game. And so Muntinlupa is very much not out of this yet. And Bicol still got that opportunity to claim a win here.
And free throws have been an issue this afternoon for the Oragons. Alanes himself split his charities in the trip before this. He makes his first free throw here. 17 out of 30 are the Oragons from the charity stripe. Make that 18 out of 31 now. 18 out of, yeah, tama, 18 out of 31. Sorry, my math's a little behind. 57 to 53. Flores gives it out to Dave Moralde. He says, let's take some more time off of that game clock as much as we can. RJ Deles on him. Moralde picks up his dribble. That's a dangerous pass going to Marge De Leon. There were 2 white shirts right there in front of him.
Yeah, dangerous pass there by Dave.
Oh, Cuevas, he does not want to foul here. Alanes goes all the way, 57 to 55.
Now this is more like it if you're Bicol. Down 2, a little under a minute. Still got this chance here. Shaq on a foot race against Cuevas. Let that defense fly by and finish off with the left.
6 points here in the second half para dito kay Shaq Alanes after only going for 2 points in the first half. He has come alive for Bicolandia to cut this 6-point advantage to just 2.
Yeah, really just a matter of mix here.
Let's listen into the huddle of the Muntinlupa Cagers.
Okay. Taasan natin ang konti. Flores, sa gitna ka. Okay, bet-betting natin. Pag nakakuha dito ng bola, takbo ka na doon. Flash ka dito, Mars. Okay, tingnan natin. Pasok ka doon. Magbigay. Okay, takbo. Okay, handoff na tayo. No, side piece lang tayo. Start muna natin ng Kati. Okay, huwag tayo magpakabayani, ha. Huwag tayo magpakabayani. Ulahin natin yung flow. Let's go. 3 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Huwag tayo magpakabayani. Those are one of the last words that Coach Mixon Ramos delivered in that huddle. And he says, let's just make the flow as much as possible happen in that play that's going to happen here for the Muntinlupa Cagers.
And yan ang pinaka-importante na, may sistema tayo. Hayaan natin kung ano ibibigay sa atin na opportunity sa sistema. Don't take hero shots, no? You gotta stay within the system, and this is important because a miscue here could mean probably a tie or a lead para sa Bicol.
That was actually the last time out already for the Muntinlupa Cagers, and they will elect to inbound from the back court. Bicol putting on some pressure here. Delis is on Cuevas, but he will let Jasper get it across without much resistance. Flores gets the step. Oh, that's a foul. And Bicolandia is already in the penalty. There was absolutely no need to foul for the Oragons.
Yeah, over-aggressive on that defensive coverage by RJ. Well, Alfred hasn't established himself yet around that time. He was actually trying to go away from the set of that Coach Mixon called on the timeout. And he tried to reject that screen, but coming out of that, he got fouled.
2 for 2 para kay Alfred Flores, top scorer for Muntinlupa in this game. Bicolandia down by 4 rather. Kent Lau, they need this. Oh, air ball on the 3. And that just might do it for the Oragons. 28 seconds left here. Muntinlupa, though, without any timeouts left. Bicol doesn't look like they're going to foul soon.
Gotta put pressure here.
And that looks like it's going to be the game for the Oragons. They're not even trying here. Such a pity. They're on their way to losing their 11th straight game of the season. Cuevas from the outside to put another nail in the coffin. Moralde gets the offensive rebound. Bongay gives it up, and there's the foul by Kent Lau. Why do you even foul at this point?
54-55. Boy, they had their chances. Wasted too much of the clock before giving up the foul.
I just feel like they gave up too soon after that miss by Kent Lau. They could have made it even closer by fouling right away. In fact, before that possession, they had a timeout to call, but Coach Raymond Valenzuela thought that they could go on across the timeline, get a good shot, and then maybe use that timeout after that last defensive possession that they would have.
Right. They could have set up for one more. If they make a really good stop, now this is a 5-point game.
And they won't even use their last timeout here. Alanes gets it across, and he will heave. That's good. They could have used that shot moments ago. 60-58 now is the score at the end of this game.
Yeah, and Bicol unable to try and snatch a win, and so after this one, we'll see if this counts here.
I think it. No, I don't think it will.
Barely. Oh,
yeah,
it won't
It
count.
was still in his hands.
It's still in his hands. Saying they needed that a little bit earlier. No?
Yeah, you know, if that happened during that Kent Lau miss, then could have been a different result here para sa Bicolandia Oragons. But they go into their 11th straight loss of the season, still winless in 11 games. Itong Bicolandia Oragons and Muntinlupa getting their 3rd victory against 8 losses.
Yeah, and really just being able to sustain different guys coming up and trying to contribute. But this guy right here, been the one who finished it off for Muntinlupa.
12 points, 8 rebounds, 4 out of 6 from the free throw line, 4 out of 9 from the field. Ito si Josh Giab. He is our player of the game, brought to you by Buenas. We also have to acknowledge the contributions of Alfred Flores, who was actually the top scorer of the game para sa Cagers at 14 points. But Josh Giab, he made a lot of the key baskets, especially in the end game.
Yeah, and when it mattered most, that run where you didn't have a Flores on the floor, he was the one who provided the needed contribution, speaking of Gia.
And that is it for the first game of our Monday triple header here at the Orion Sports Complex. Muntinlupa winning 60-55. Our final score brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Up next, we have the Abra Weavers going up against the Bacolod City of Smiles. Mactalio and company looking to sustain their winning run here at the middle of the tournament. Thank you so much for joining us for the coverage of our first game here at the Orion Sports Complex. For Coach Mike Perez and Miss Andrea Andiso, this has been Javi Palanyang. Keep it locked in here on the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.